Welcome to Stan's Man Cave on a Sunday afternoon.
Appropriate military music, so we're going to do a real military item today. Stop that stupidity. Right. I tell you what, this is the second time I've done that. I'm doing this video again. Second time, because I'd like to thank Blitz 1944 for showing YouTube the K98K that we bought. And in the video, they loaded their stripper clip of rounds, inert rounds, into the, and I said, how did you get them out? And he said that they just, when you run past it, just picked it up enough to get your hand in to get them out, because obviously the bolt won't cycle them. And I just did the video there and tried to do it. See the scratches on the end of there? I remembered why I don't do it, because it jammed inside and I couldn't get I had to use a little butter knife to get them out. So that's why. No, just stick with what you know, Stan. I'll put that. So I did have my little rubber gloves on as well. I took them off because my hands were getting sweaty. I just cleaned these. So these are my K98K rifles. I've got two of them. It's one. And this is the other one. It's all right. I will do a quick bit of blurbarization on the old. Someone asked me what books I used. This is one of them of by Jan Seerman. I've had this book for years. And it's a good reference book. I've got 4 or 5 books about collectible firearms and stuff like that. It's a good reference. So if you don't mind, I'll put these on. Right, so Carabiner K98K, caliber 7.92 Mauser, length 43.6 inches, 1.11 meters, weight 8 pounds 9 ounces or 3.9 kilograms. Doesn't say whether that's loaded or unloaded. Barrel 23.6 inches, 600 millimeters long. 4 grooves, right hand twist. Feed system 5 round integral box magazine against the Lee Enfield at the time, which was a 10 round box magazine. System of operation Mauser turn bolt. Manufacturers principally Mauserwerk AG, Germany, but many other subcontractors. And that's an interesting thing in Blitz 1944's video that I was going to ask them, but they showed on the video whether you can get the bolt out on these new EU spec Deacts, and you can't. So my question would be, because I had a Lee Enfield number 4 and the cocking piece shattered, so I had to get a replacement, buy a tool, take the bolt out, put the new piece in. Obviously that didn't affect the deactivation process, and you can take them out on the dry fire versions, on the English or British UK spec Deacts. So what happens if this happens? Obviously the cotton piece isn't going to cut, but if you have a problem with your bolt and it gets damaged, what do you do nowadays? Would you have to send it back to a gunsmith? I would imagine you would do. So more outlay. There you go. So the Carabiner K98K, so it's carbine. 98 is after Gewehr 98, 1898. But the K is for Kurtz or short. It was the last long line of Mauser rifles used by the German army that started with the model 1871. The first to be designed around the now famous bolt action by Peter Mauser. Before World War I, the Germans, as did the British with the short Lee Enfield in 1903, and the Americans with their short Springfield, decided to produce a short version of the Gewehr 98 called the Carabiner 98. The main change was to reduce the length of the barrel by 6 inches. In addition, the bolt handle was turned down and the wood of the stock was cut away so you could grasp it more easily. These are distinguishable by, I think they have stacking rods on the end, like a little hook, the Carabiner 98. The rear sight was also simplified. The weapon so created became the standard German infantry weapon of World War I, and afterwards completely replaced the Gewehr 98 rifle. Between the wars, it was redesignated the K98A. In the early 1930s, the design was simplified to facilitate mass production, and the resulting weapon was adopted as the standard rifle for the new Wehrmacht in 1935 as the K98K. It was produced by the millions in a number of factories, and production continued until the end of the war in 1945 because there was never sufficient automatic weapons to replace the bolt action rifles completely. Variants: K98K/42, production variant with a metal butt plate cup and a different foresight. I'm not sure about that with the one I've got down here. The Yugoslavians after the war produced the M48 Yugo, which is almost an identical copy of the K98, and there's more about that on this one. So the first one up, we will get the one So both of these rifles are what I would say are Russian capture, and various things you can find Russian capture weapons. So after the war, the Russians captured obviously millions of these rifles. The woodwork went to one bin, the receiver another, the bolt another. Blah, it's a mismatch of parts. I don't know why they did this. When they wanted these rifles for possibly arming some of the satellite countries that came under their influence, satellite countries, Warsaw Pact, they just put all the rifles back together. Some went together with the parts that were original, some didn't. And they also sometimes painted them with a black shellac. See that coming off there? Now this rifle is a 1939 237 code. So that is a Berliner Lübecker Machine Fabric BLM. And you can see it there. That's the code. It does have Waffen stamps on the receiver. Whatever happened here at this end, again, re-stamped, ground off, you name it. See it there? This hole here is for the bolt, to strip the bolt down, bolt takedown tool built into the rifle. The Germans, I think you had to have 3 people together to make one cleaning rod. So each one was a third. I believe that's what it was. This isn't, it's got a reproduction sling on it. Now, this is a bit of a sad tale, this one. On camera, it's probably coming up as being pretty good. And again, this cup here, it doesn't have any marks on it at all. I think this could be, might even be a Yugo thing, I don't know. But at the end of the war, when the woodwork wasn't as good or it had been damaged, they would put this a later war sort of style, if you like. This does, just make sure the neighbours can't see any. I'm not really overlooked, but you've got to be careful. This does. If you noticed it stuck a little bit, check out the bolt. Can you see that? This is a Yugo bolt, and it does, I think it says on there, so look at my little magnifier, M84, you see there, that is a Yugoslavian bolt. I believe the YouTuber History Secrets has got the same thing going on, site work with one of his. Unfortunately, and I've had this over 10 years, it was the second Diak I bought, and the dealer, I won't say who he is, but if you ever see me at a show, I've mentioned this before, or I'll tell you, I'm in contact with a lot more lads now, through other non-public communications. I'll tell you if you want to know who it is, so you don't buy off him again, because he led me a merry dance. It came with a bolt. It came originally with an M48 bolt, with no extractor clip. It had been hacked to pieces. I literally pulled the bolt, it fell out the bottom. I mean, that was just, and I went through a few months of to and fro with this fella, till he eventually sorted it out, but he refused to give me a K98 bolt. In the end, I probably should have gone to, I don't know, Citizens Advice or something, they get me money back, but I suppose it's the world of, it's military dealers, military dealers, they probably think you're not going to do it because it's, it's a bit odd collecting guns, isn't it? Well, it isn't. I like doing it. So deactivated anyways, obviously. So yeah, it's turned out to be not a bad job in the end. I am stuck with it now. I'll never be able to get a deactivated K98 bolt to go in there, because that's obviously the laws change. So yeah, that's that. So moving on to my, have you noticed as well, the metal works different on the end of these. See at the top, here and here, which is quite common, different little variations. This one is my DOU, D-O-U, 1943. Again, loads of Waffen stamps all over it. For those who don't know, it's a little like eagle with a swastika underneath, and the cross on there. See the cross? The cross. Remember that? Original 1943 dated sling, and the cross means that this is Russian capture as well. The serial number on the receiver is exactly the same as the stock, so the stock and the receiver have been together for a long time, for all the lives. The bolt, however, has been electro-penciled. You see it there? That means it's another Russian thing they did, electro-penciled, to say they were same. This one, you can hear the clean rod's a bit loose, but also the wood's a bit loose there, it's a bit rattly. Now I did have the same problem on one of my Enfields, and I took it apart and sorted it out with a bit of paper, packed it up. Don't want to do it this, I don't touch it. Also, make sure no one's looking in the shed. And this does, because I've got the curtain open so I get natural light, this does, again, dry fire. And yeah, that's quite a nice, it is a nice item. And I'm not putting the stripper clip in, because it gets jammed in mine for some reason. So that's safety on these is a different operation. So you have to cock it and then flip it right over. So now it's in safe. It'll only fire when you go like that side. There you go. I quite like this one. This is a real nice piece of kit. Yeah. So for some reason, I don't think this one fits with the cleaning rod in. I don't know why, and I've held these up against each other, and there's not much in it at all. But I have a bayonet here, handy as you always do. And that just won't go in there. It won't go in. I don't know why. But I'm not going to muck around with it. So there's the frog. I believe they were told to cut the straps off. 1930s. This is a S8498 bayonet made by Soligan, I think. Gottlieb Hammersfahr Soligan. Yeah. And I can't make that up. You check it out yourself. Look. See it? And 1917 dated. So this is from World War One, possibly, I think, intermediate period, but it does fit. Does fit, honest. Now it's not going on there now. I'm not having a very good day today, am I? Not going on. It's not going on, but bloody well will go on. There we go. It's on. So there you go. There's the K98K with bayonet. And one more time. Make sure the nails aren't seeing. Dry fire. So nice pieces of kit. The prices that they're asking for them now, no chance. I wouldn't buy one. And also that's because nothing against anyone who just has bought them. It's because I've already got two, so there's no need for me to buy them, is it? You know what I mean? But I cannot believe. Ow! That's my thumb cut from the other Diac. I have the nightmare to stab myself in the throat with that. I can't believe how they can justify charging the money they're charging when they're actually not getting the Diac doesn't do as much as it used to do. But that's people are still buying them, and I would buy another bolt action rifle. I'd love a P14. Certainly would. But not another K98 because I've already got two, so I don't need to. So put this bayonet away. That's not even the right way. How we stand? Fucking hell, man. Long weekend me doing stupid videos, and that's 13 minutes of me talking crap. I can't even be bothered to do the button. There it is. We'll just leave it. It is stripper clip, not World War II, post-war ones. So. That's my K98K rifles, deactivated. Anybody got any questions, just ask me in the comments. And I'd like to thank again Blitz9044 for doing that video where they showed you how a modern Diac works, so anyone wants to buy one. And I'd like to thank the people who watch me talking crap every day, because I don't take it too seriously, but I just enjoy doing it like that. So the button's flashing, we'll try it. This is Stan, see ya. It ain't working. My wife's just walking past there. I think I'll have to go. See ya.